I guess we can start now. Right. So, next legend. Yeah. So, hey everyone, I am Madhur Gupta. I'm the new GDSC lead at our institute, IIIT Vadodara, and I'm happy to be here, happy to lead the club for the coming year, and I hope we all will learn together and grow together. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so let's quickly go through the agenda of this meeting. So, firstly, we'll introduce you to GDSC. What is GDSC? What is our aim at GDSC IIIT-V? Next, we'll introduce you to the new domain leads and co-leads. They'll also give you a glimpse of their corresponding domains. Next, we'll come to a very important question and we'll give you the answer for it. So, how can you guys, so people from the 2021 batch, be a part of GDSC IIIT-V for the coming year? Lastly, we'll have a query session. Yeah. Next slide. Okay. So, before any of that, we have two very special people present here in this meet. They are our previous GDSC leads. So let's start with Akshita ma'am. She was the GDSC lead for the year 2020 to 2021. She's currently an SWE at Microsoft. She has been a legend and a source of inspiration for me and my batchmates since we were from our first year. So the stage is all yours, ma'am.
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, Madhur. It's really great to seeing so many faces. I hope, like, I am wishing that more people will turn on the cameras because it was like kind of like lost touch with the people at Triple IT, right? So it's really nice knowing you. There's like so many new faces. I barely know anyone. I just kind of met like in person. I think only Anubhav I've met. Rest like I've just seen around in the events or heard about from other people. So hi everyone. Okay, so I'll just keep it brief. I'm Akshita Agarwala. So I joined Triple IT at in 2017. So I'm in the 2017 to 2021 batch. Graduate, CSE graduate. So as currently like I'm working as an SWE in Microsoft, as Madhu mentioned, and like my when I was the TSC lead, like I was the second TSC lead of Triple IT Vadodara. Before me, it was obviously Rati sir was there. Like it was the first time that we were doing it all virtual, right? It was because of the first year of COVID. It was 2020 to 2021. We had no idea how we were attending classes also. On like in an online mode, and at that time it was very challenging to be the DS lead, but I'd just like to share my experience saying that I had a really great team. We met frequently, we organized events, and we tried to keep people engaged, even though it was difficult to keep people engaged in an online platform. People often tend to wander during the events. People don't join, and it's very difficult to market or advertise the events also that we're conducting. And yeah, it was a very challenging time. So I would say that because learning from my experiences, I think Anubhav did a better job at DSC, because everyone had you know a better understanding of how to engage people online and get them out of the mundane day-to-day classwork and classes and coursework and everything, right? So I think it is a very great platform to network. Please, like, whenever, like, if you are planning to join, don't do it like from a just selfish perspective of just learning. Please do join to network with people, make great friends, because when you are learning together, you learn like 100 times more. If you're learning alone, you just learn like, I think, like 10% of what you're supposed to learn, right? So I'm not sure whether like the classes are going offline or not. Like, is the institute open? Are you guys in hostel?
Yes, ma'am. We are in hostel, so the classes are like some of them are online, some of them are offline. Yeah.
Okay, depending on the professor, right? Okay, kind of hybrid only. So everyone is mandated, mandatory in a hostel, or it's hybrid student wise also?
No, ma'am. All are mandatory at hostel.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's really nice. I really, really hope that now, like, especially people who started like the 2020 batch and the 2021 batch, people who started during the pandemic, really get to know their seniors and their batchmates and everyone very nicely in the hostel, organize events, have fun in the hostel using those events. Because I really like when I was seeing people in 2020 batch, I was feeling so bad that they have not interacted with anyone. They were, still in that mindset of the coaching mindset, the school mindset, and not they're not enjoying the college environment. It felt so bad. I mean, I can like I can say that first year was like my most active year in the college. After that, I kind of started focusing on my studies more. But during the first, I was like part of each club, like all the events that just roaming around, interacting with seniors. I mean, the best part of clubs and everything is interaction with seniors. You get to learn so much because that we don't have a permanent campus, so there were a lot of challenges that we face. So it was really important for us to be with, understand how to overcome those challenges from our seniors. So yeah, that's it. So I think this platform, just don't treat it like a Google thing, or just learning tech wise. Obviously you learn, there's some really great events that DSC organizes. So grab that opportunity to network also. I think one thing that I've learned in the past year or past 2 years, I'll say that networking really, really helps. Like it opens so many new opportunities, because people often just feel like the opportunities they'll get is only based on what they know, the knowledge that they have, but that is not true. Now, your knowledge will get you ahead like 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time is your network and your willingness to learn, right? So yeah, keep that in mind while joining. And yeah, I hope Madhu leads you very nicely. Thank you. Hi, thank you. That's just-
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next, we have Anubhav sir. So he was the GDSC lead last year. I'm sure you guys know him. So he's currently an SWE at Textbook and a guiding pillar for me since the past year. Anubhav sir, please.
Uh, Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, GDSC, for inviting me. Well, about GDSC, what I can say is that, as Akshita ma'am said, that it's not just more about the tech part, it's also about the community. It's about learning in public. So, जैसे we know that सबका साथ सबका विकास. So it's like you are not competing with each other. You will be studying all together, and you all will be scoring well, achieving your goals. Okay, and for GDSC, it has been one of the best experiences of my life yet. And as Akshata ma'am said that we did like a better, but it's all because of Akshata ma'am. We did it under her guidance, and she was like, whenever I used to have some doubts and all, I used to contact her that, ma'am, what shall we do? And she always used to guide me in the right path. So it's all because of you, Akshita ma'am. Thank you so much for guiding us. And I know that Madhur is also a great lead, and it's the right choice for being a GDSC lead this year. And apart from Madhur, we have Dhruv Rasia, we have Janmay, Suyash, and so many people. They're going to do amazing. Like I have seen the team, it's quite good. And for the 2021 batch, you can be a part of GDSC too. So just stay tuned and all the best. And GDSC will help you a lot. It's like it's going to cover almost all the domains. I hope there will be DSA as well, and apart from development side. So yeah, just stay tuned and participate in all the events, and you'll do great. And not just for the tech part, be an active member in the community. Okay, like uh, it's not like that you're going to attend the workshops itself. There will be quite a lot of activities and interactions with your seniors as well as your peers from your batchmates. So network with them, take help of each other, learn from each other, and grow together. So that's why GDSC is like probably the best experiences of my life. कई सारे meetups भी हुए and events भी हुए, and which you will get to attend soon, especially Madhur. Yeah, so all the best for your tenure and good luck ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So thank you, ma'am and sir, for sharing your valuable experience with us and guiding us. Thanks. Next slide. Okay. So coming to what is GDSC, right? So GDSC is essentially a program which Google runs all over the world, right? So GDSCs are university-based communities of students, right? And it has got basically two objectives in mind. So the first is to strengthen the community. So strengthen the community in terms of its technical knowledge non-technical knowledge, and very importantly in terms of diversity and inclusion, right? So the second objective is to facilitate communication among various communities, that is the various GDSCs, right? So I think by this you guys would understand or get an idea of what is GDSC. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Next slide, Janvi. Okay. So coming to our aim at GDSC IIIT-V, right? So the very basic aim that I have in mind this year is to make sure that you guys become a better version of yourself when this year ends, right? So I want to give you guys opportunities using which you can improve on your skills, technical as well as non-technical, right? So we will provide you with the best of resources, opportunities and experience to guide you in your domain and your path. Next slide. Okay, so on your screen, you guys can see some of the swags that were distributed by Google last year as part of some of their programs. So look out for these throughout the year. We'll be telling you more as the year progresses. Yeah, next slide, gentlemen. Okay. Coming to the events, right? So the first event that is actually very close, so that will start on the 9th of September this year, is Android Compose. So you'll get to hear more about this when the Android domain leads come up. The next is Introduction to Web Development Workshop, right? So me being a web developer, I'm super excited for this one. Next, we have an Introduction to Flutter workshop. Flutter is a growing cross-platform development, framework. Stay tuned for that. And then comes Develop Until 50. So this is basically a simulation of a hackathon, right? In which we'll give you a task which you'll have to implement in the given time frame. So this will be a great start for you guys in terms of participating in hackathons. Right. Next comes open source events, like so a workshop for open source introduction, and then comes Hacktoberfest information and contributor-thon. Right. So this would be somewhere around in October, where we'll basically introduce you to open source, tell you about Hacktoberfest. Akhilesh will come up with more details later in this event. 30 Days of Google Cloud is basically a month-long event in which everyone explores Google Cloud. Cloud is now considered as a very important skill that companies look for, right? Another special event is AR/VR workshop. I am not sure if you guys actually know what AR/VR is. So we have Jayant who will tell you more about this later. Next, resume writing workshop. So the thing is that it's not just about what you have on your resume, it's also about how you present it on your resume, right? So are you following the industry standards or not, and stuff like that. That is very, very important. So Mukta will tell you more. And by the way, this list is not exhaustive. Events will get added on it as the year progresses. Next slide, please. Okay, so I have a small question for you guys. Let me know what is the favorite operating system according to you, or the one which you use the most. So please use the chat box for this. Windows, right? Windows. You must be using Android or iOS as well, right? Okay, Linux, right? Linux guys. Nice. Nice. Okay. macOS? No macOS? No rich people around? Oh, we do have. Oh, good. Windows. Windows definitely dominates PC operating system, right? Okay. Yeah. I guess we can move forward, Jamil. Yeah, next slide. Okay. So now the domain leads and co-leads will come up one by one and they'll basically introduce themselves and their domains. Okay. Next slide. Yeah, over to you then.
Thank you, Madhur. So, hello everyone. I am Jay Savalia, and I'm the public relations lead of this term. So, as Anubhav sir said, Akshita have said that it is also important equally to make relations, right? So, with this beautiful line that since we cannot change reality, let us change the eyes that sees reality. That's what we have. That's what we do. Don't you think? In public relations, we build mutually beneficial interpersonal relations, and even communicate with other companies, clubs, and many much. Next slide, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Vaibhav Gupta, Public Relation Co-lead this year. Happy to see you all here. Uh, So basically, what do PR team do, right? So coming on to the marketing and outreach, in this we try to connect with different people, clubs, communities like speakers, etc. to increase the outreach of our events and GDSC capability. So how we do this, like with the help of different platforms like social media, etc. Next is strategies. In this, strategies are formed to how to roll out the event smoothly, which the GDSC conduct, right? So next we have growth hackers and the content writers. The content writing part is the crucial part of PR, is how the message is being written and delivered. Basically, it is the only thing that intrigues the student, right, to join the event. So it also comes down to how good is the content written. Next, right?
Yeah, so now a question arises to you all that what can you get from GDSC IIIT-V and for this year and what can you expect from us? So first of all, you can expect a base. We at GDSC create a base for you all to help you improve your communication and interpersonal relationship building skills. Secondly, even when if you have a design, we can give you a platform to showcase them globally to each and everyone. And third, uh, PR is what impacts directly each and every event that occurs. Like you need to get people engaged with your event and your all social media handles. So yes, it is more than that. Next slide, please. Yeah, now I have a fun time question for you all. Which was the first social media platform that you all came across? You can give the answers in the chat box, please. Facebook, okay. WhatsApp, Facebook, Facebook. Post office, okay. WhatsApp, hmm. Facebook and WhatsApp, Reddit, okay. I guess Facebook, WhatsApp. That's all from here. The next slide, please. Over to you, Parth.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Parth Chandravadia and I'm the design lead for this term. So here is a beautiful statement that design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. So if I want to simply explain that, sometimes people feel that design and art are similar. So it is all about look and visual effects and UI. But I feel that design is all about experience of the user and how you deliver your product to the user. Next slide, please. Okay, so here are some of the fields which are included in the design under GDSC, which are graphic designing, video editing, and UI UX designing. All these three fields are equally important, and mostly they are important if in any of the product of any of the companies in the form of advertisement, marketing, right? So all these things we will learn in GDSC in design field. So if we talk especially about the UI UX designing, then UI UX is user interface and user experience, which are two different terms but widely used together. So please next slide, please. Okay, this is a general information in detail about what is the exactly role of the design in a product development life cycle, or we can say about software development life cycle (SDLC). So initially, when we product development life cycle is started, it starts from brainstorming. Then what is the requirement of the product? Then definition, then design, then coding part, then test, and then launch. Right. So very important part is design. Under design, there are 5 phases which are mentioned here that empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So empathize is to identify what is the user requirement, to understand what are the issues of the user and exactly what things we require in this product. And when we finalize what we require in this product, then the phase come is define, where we finalize that what is the exact main problem which we want to solve in through this product. When we finalize the problem, then we start working on that. Then the team uh, finds more ideas that we will do this thing, this idea, this design, right? So then we will create a rough model of the product, which is a prototype phase, where first we create wireframes. Through wireframes, we have a rough structure, and then we create visual designs and create a prototype, which is the rough model of a product, and then we test. So when we pass through all these phases, this whole design is delivered to the development team, and development team starts working on that and develop a product. So design is a very important thing, and main characteristics of design are the design or the product should be useful, usable, and equitable. So user experience is more important, and in all these phases, user is in the center. Next slide, please. Okay, so what you can expect from the GDSC in this term is different kind of workshops from the industry experts, networking opportunities, design exposure, chances to collaborate with other GDSCs, and mentorship. So I assure that you can have mentorship in all these different fields, like either it is video editing or graphic designing or UI UX. So hope you all interested people get in touch with us and learn many things in design. Next slide. Okay, here is the fun question on which music app UI do you like the most? Actually, I know the answer. Please type your answers in the chat box. Yes, Spotify. Okay, I can see Ghana in between. YouTube Music. Spotify is at the top. My favorite is also Spotify. Okay, guys, thank you. Over to Jayant.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Jayant Asudani and I am current ARVR lead at GDSC. Okay. So I will be telling you about what immersive technology is. So immersive technology comprises of AR, VR and MR. It is the fastest growing and most fascinating technology right now. In a nutshell, what it does is that it creates or extends reality, and this is done by immersing the user in a digital environment. So next slide. Now let's go to the main question that arises. What is the difference between AR, VR, MR? Like they all seem similar to a normal user who don't know about anything. So what AR is, it just overlay a digital footprint or digital element on actual reality. What mixed reality is just AR 2.0 you can say. What it does that you can control those digital elements that have been added to the reality. What virtual reality is that it just cuts off from your actual reality and you will be experiencing a fully immersive digital environment by a device, Oculus something, you know. Next slide. So what you should expect from GDSC that will be teaching you how to make image target selection criteria, and we'll be telling you about how to make marker based AR application. We'll be teaching you about virtual buttons and markerless AR. So I'll be showing you a video of marker based AR. So as you can see in the video that there is an image of globe. So what the app is doing that it is targeting that image, and the that event is happening and the image of globe is appearing. So this is the special application of marked AR. So the image has some tracker in it, and it is recognizes tracker and it creates this event system. So another example is a markerless AR. It does not require any marked image or any target. It just happens everywhere. So in the second video, as you can see, there's just simple ground plane, and it can happen everywhere. It does not require any image or something. Yeah. So the point is, we'll be teaching you marked AR, markerless AR, face masking. As you all know, it's used in Snapchat, Lenskart. You all might have heard about Lenskart. That Lenskart gives you a feature to try the spectacles before buying it. Okay. So right now, it's a simple example of this AR. So this is the actual reality, and I'm just using a filter. So this is a part of AR. Going forward, we will be teaching you about navigation maps. Next slide. So we'll be giving you projects on detection of image target. We'll be giving you several projects on mark-based AR, markerless AR. First, we'll be teaching you in a separate session. As Madhu said, it will be happening in November, October. So we'll be teaching you that, and we'll be assigning you a simple project or something so that you can increase your imagination and give you a prototype or something which you can share on GDSC. We'll also be telling you about how to collaborate and contribute on many organizations such as Oracle, Facebook, and Oculus, Facebook, Metaverse, Lenskart, Snapchat, etc. So that you can collaborate and communicate with them and give them share your ideas so that they can work with you. As there are very few AI developers right now, so you can be the one to revolutionize. Thank you. Next.
Hello, myself Dhruv Rasha, and I'm your web lead for this year. Develop applications and interconnect live. What we do in web dev is basically we formulate an idea into a product that can connect to various people. Next slide, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Harun Gupta and I am a web dev co-lead. And there is a simple quiet website promote you 24/7. No employee will do that. We all know interest present 24/7 for our.
So, what is web dev? In simple terms, web dev is any kind of tool, page, or anything that can go on a browser. Okay, so that is what a web page, web tool is, and what we do as a web developer is we build those things. So how interesting is it? First of all, it is beginner friendly. You can start from basic HTML, JavaScript, CSS to make just a one-page informative website to high-end tools like Salesforce, Netflix, etc. Also, this field always stays fresh. Every day you'll get something new. You'll get some new state measurement tools, or you'll get new ways to manage your database, new features. Every day is a new learning for us. Next, another thing is it is very addictive because there are times you will get some idea, but you won't have the tools to formulate that into an application, and we can do that very easily in web dev because it is, as I said, very beginner friendly. So it will intrigue you. Apart from that, you can see what you are building. Okay, if you're coding something, you see it right in front of your screen. So it will be like you accomplish something. So it will get addictive at time. Next slide, please. Backend dev. There was a slide of backend dev.
After that.
Okay, change order. So what is front-end development? Okay, so front-end development is if you're getting some chunk of data from the backend and then you're molding it into something that is visually appealing and easy to use for the users. And here comes the designer in between. They'll design the product for you. And what a front-end developer does is he takes the design, he takes the data that is you are getting from the backend, and then build something that the user can use. Okay. So the main three pillars of the front end dev are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, I'll like to give a small example like Netflix app. You see there are many cards. Now just imagine that you are just doing it in vanilla. Then what you do is you have to write code for each of those cards. So at times it is not that good to build things in vanilla JavaScript or vanilla HTML. So we have frameworks like Angular, Vue, React, and the solution that to that problem was given by React, that is component-based framework. So you can use the same cards multiple times, just changing the data. Apart from that, you'll use many tools like Chrome DevTools and package managers. Chrome DevTools is a boon. Any kind of error in front end, all the errors you can find in the Chrome DevTools, and at times some backend errors are also identified there because you can see the API calls and everything else. Also, you just don't think that front end development is only you're coding something just you are given a design, you're just coding the things you see. It is much more than that. You'll have to use various high-end technologies like sockets, website, server events. Okay, so it will get intriguing. Like sometimes you'll have to integrate some dialer. So yeah, next slide, please.
So now backend development. So what is backend? Backend, it is just a code which run on the server. Like because of that, we can now fill up forms and we can send messages. But before 2000, that time backend was not present. So we could only read a website, whatever on written on the websites. Okay. So now how to become a backend developer? So we need to know about the data structure and algorithm, not much, only about QA, stacks, and array, etc. And second is programming languages and framework like Node.js, Django, PHP. At least one programming language we need to know. Okay, and the third one is version control. It is not even, it is a maintain our code, and we use a Git, okay, for maintaining our codes for version controlling. Database management. Database management, it is a manage your data. We manage our data by using MongoDB, MySQL, etc. And the last one is deployment. Okay, so the why should you know about the web development? Because web development, it is so easy, and it is easy because of available contents and tutorials on the internet. If you will stuck in a web development, just Google it and you will get 100+ of solutions. Okay, so what you expect from our team is we will have some workshops and hackathons also. And if you will stuck anywhere, and if you will come with some projects and get some help from our side, we will definitely help you. Okay, thank you. Next slide. Hand it over to
So, hello everyone. I'm Anmol Diman. I'm the current Android lead, and here we got a beautiful statement. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and this statement is itself a true. Like how technology help ourselves in daily life, it is not more than a magic. Next slide, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Sid Joshi, present Android Colleague, and here's my motto. An app is not all about technology, it's about the dream towards the future. When we enter into the world of development or application development, we realize that we are not only just dealing with this couple of code on our computer screen, we are actually making dreams true. We are actually making the reality that someone just thought into a real life product. Next slide, please.
So when we talk about Android development, the first thing which come in our mind is like, what is Android? So I will solve this question. Like, Android is an operating system for mobile devices, and it is developed and maintained by Google itself. And there is a fact that 71% of the current smartphones uses Android as their operating system. So, and this number will automatically increase in future, which means the demand of Android developers will also increase in future. That's why you should choose Android development. Next slide, please. And there are some other points to why to choose Android development. The first thing is it is very easy. Like, you can learn Kotlin language, and you can just start building basic applications. You can watch tutorials on YouTube, and there are certain discussion forums where you can talk to other peoples and clear your doubts related to applications. Means you have plenty of platforms to learn the things. And not only Kotlin, you can code in Java, C++, Python, Golang, C Sharp, and there is also official documentation which is maintained by Google, where you can learn the things and implement by yourself. Next slide, please.
So you all must be excited to know that how to start Android development now. For the initial stage, one must start with a language. There are two options to work with Android. One is Java and one is Kotlin. If you ask me, the Kotlin will be the best if you want to go up with a Android, as it has a well-maintained documentation, and it is recognized as the official language of Android by Google. Once you are well versed with the language to a beginner level, you can start with using Android Studio. Android Studio is nothing just a software, we can say IDE, which is used to develop Android applications. When you just know how the studio works, you can move on to creating a basic apps like the timer app or a simple click app. You can very well do the second and third step together, that is a building app, and with building app you are trying to know the Android Studio. If anytime you stuck, Android community is one of the best community ever. We have one of the best documentation. You can find it at the developer.android.com. As Kotlin is one of a new language, it is backed by the Google, and almost all the problem or the stuck. If you get stuck, you can find it on Stack Overflow or on the Kotlin website itself. At the end, when you are done with this thing, you can start learning with UI building. That is using Compose, which is now a new feature added by Google, and we have a very good event about it coming up next, and Anmol will tell you more about it.
So we as an Android developer, we every time stuck with the UI part of the our application. So natively we develop our UI with XML, and to solve this issue, Google come up with a new technology called Jetpack Compose, and with that GDSC come up with the different programs, different camps to learn to teach you this Compose technology. And not only that, GDSC also come up with the different talks, different camps like Kotlin basics and other stuff to teach you the Android development. Next slide, please.
So here's a fun question for you all. If you're given the two options, either to work from mountain or to work from your office, what will you choose? In chat, please.
Mine would be mountains.
Yeah, but we don't have food in mountain, bro.
We can take that.
Mountain cafe. Good answer, Jayant. Okay, yeah, that's all from our side. Next slide, please. Handing over to Rishvi.
So up till now, you people have a decent idea about what development is, right? So now let us take this development field up to another extent. So hello everyone, I'm Mohammad Ambar Rizvi, your Flutter lead of this term. Okay, so it's not about ideas, it's about making ideas happen, as the line in red mentioned. So take thing development like seriously, right? It's not just about making your projects for the school or for the college projects. Just make your ideas, just work through it and implement it and make it production ready. And now, if you are worried about which platform we choose, which coding language we choose, either I should go with web or with Android or iOS, stop worrying about it, right? Choose Flutter over it. You can do it for Android, you can do it for iOS, you can do it for desktop, you can do it for Linux, you can do it for macOS. Just focus on ideas and start implementing it. Okay. So now actually what is Flutter? First, let me clear that it is not a language. It is not at all a language. It is just an open source UI framework to build native cross-platform apps. It is an attempt to recreate the Java dream to code once and run everywhere. Okay. So now, anyone have an idea of what language does Flutter uses?
Dart.
Yeah, you are right. So, yeah, nice one.
I think Flutter is a framework and Dart is a language to support that.
Yeah, perfect, nice. So, okay, let me. Your answer was right. It uses Dart as its programming language, which is also developed by Google. It's not only Kotlin or like Android. So Dart is also developed by Google, and it is object oriented and strongly typed. Hence, we can now run Flutter apps everywhere, not because it got legs, but it got Dart to back him up. Next slide, please. Okay, so a good question. Why only Flutter? So as I said, code once and run everywhere. Flutter supports cross-platform, that is, it supports Linux, Mac, web, iOS, embedded, and Android. Okay, so anyone over here have any idea about this cross-platform development? Can anyone please tell me what all other technological stacks are into this field? Any examples of any other alternatives for Flutter? examples are common, right? You must be aware of it. I hope so. Any alternative for Flutter? Yeah, I'm talking about an app, right? For the development of apps. Unity is for gaming engine, right? I would say. Nice. Any other answers? Yes. React Native. Okay, so React Native is developed by right Facebook, fine, and there's one more example, that is Ionic. Right, what the Ionic does is it provides a web view of application in any of the platforms. So it's not providing an actual app; it's providing a web integrated app inside your devices. That is why Flutter is uniquely positioned into this industry. It is not converting your one single code into Android or iOS. This is what React Native is doing. Right, Flutter is what it does is you have an Android code, you have your iOS code. One code is only written in Dart. Your Flutter engine combines that code of iOS and displays into iOS screen. Your Flutter engine will display this Dart code into an Android screen. So it's not compiling this code into different platform. You have one single code base. Flutter engine is just displaying that code, that functionality of codes on different platforms, right? Okay. So now there comes another option of live and hot reloading. Okay, you are developing, right? You have your Android device, you have your code. You make any changes to the code, you want to see the changes, you don't have to restart or recompile the code again. You just press Control S. The live and hot reloading feature of Flutter will provide you real-time updating throughout the development procedure. And definitely third, fourth, fifth are very common. Actively growing community, minimal UI focused code, and the documentation support is as provided in the link. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's clearly mentioned over 500,000 Flutter apps are in the market right now. So as I mentioned that why Flutter is uniquely positioned in the industry. React Native is also there, even that is developed by Facebook, so it's also a big brand. But why people are choosing Flutter? It's not I am telling, it's an industrial example. I think many of you are knowing about Zero the Kite. If yes, then please respond in the chat box. Zero the Kites, if you yes. So there's a nice documentation provided them on their website. They started their app in the initial stage on the Android, right? So when at later stages they found React Native, so they converted their code base to completely to React Native. They thought that it would be good. I'm not sure what they thought, but yes, it's an example. So they converted themselves to React Native, and then finally their whole code base is now on Flutter. So they started with Android, they then converted into React Native, and now they are using Flutter. So this was the one example. Another example is Dream 11. They're also coming on the Flutter platform. Another example is Cred, and all other examples are over here. BMW, Ubuntu, Toyota, and all other are now Flutter only. So next slide, please. So global community support, a strong support, right? 110,000 plus GitHub stars, 15,000 plus packages, 1,000 contributors, and many more over here. So I hope I was quite successful to satisfy you all with my words. So that's it for today for Flutter. We have one of our related event lined up for you all guys in future related to Flutter. So that is a Flutter workshop. I would encourage interested students to be ready for that. Thank you. Next slide, please. Over to Ankur.
Hello everyone. I am Ankur Shukla, your ML lead for this term. Next slide, please.
Hello everyone, I am Ria Parekh. I am the MLAI co-lead for this term, and as it is rightly said here, information is the oil for the 21st century and analytics is the combustion engine, and you'll surely get to know the reason in the coming slides.
Now, as you all must be knowing about artificial intelligence. It is one of the most exciting technology emerged in the recent year. The great advances are such as driverless cars, recommendation systems, and language-to-language translations. All are these used artificial intelligence. In machine learning is also used in every field, from the finance to biology, or from education to health. Everywhere we use machine learning and artificial intelligence to solve our or problem which involve the human intelligence. Okay, so you must be wondering then what is the difference between machine learning and artificial intelligence. Machine learning is subfield of artificial intelligence, and it both aims to develop a program that make an automatic decision based on the data, okay, without being programmed explicitly. This gives the this gives that software or the machine a decision making power and narrow down the gap between human and the machines. Okay, now Ria will continue from here.
Next slide. Okay, so now let me, next slide. So now let me just brief you with some real life use cases where machine learning and artificial intelligence is used. So first one is image recognition. So it can help you in identifying an object as a digital image based on the intensity or the pixels in black and white images or colored images. Furthermore, you can label an X-ray as cancerous or not. It is used in tagging images on social media and recognizing handwritings and numbers, handwritten letters. Then comes speech recognition. It is used in voice search, voice dialing, appliance control. Thirdly, there's medical diagnosis. It plays a huge role in the healthcare sector. So it is helpful in assisting and formulating the diagnosis, and it also plays as a recommendation system for the treatment options. It is also used by oncologists and pathologists to recognize some cancerous tissues and also bodily fluids. And then comes an interesting, it is also used in the financial sector and statistical arbitrage. It is useful in algorithmic trading, which analyzes the market microstructure and analyzes large data sets, and also used in analyzing real time arbitrage opportunities. And also we can consider predictive analytics, which is used in prediction models or even extractive models, which is very useful. And these are only a few real life use cases. There are many more which are yet to be explored here. And next slide. So what will we play a part in GDSC? We'll organize several workshops which will give you hands-on experiences on starting your implementation journey on real world data sets. And there would be talks and expert sessions where you'll get a chance to learn from the experience of professionals. And lastly, the community which we are building here has various people from like-minded domains. So you'll get to connect with them. And that's it from my side. Ankur, you can take over.
Yes, here is the fun questions for you all. What's come to your mind when you hear about artificial intelligence? You can write your answer in the chat box, the Google Assistant. It can be anything like from Hollywood or from, okay, Elon, Terminator, Friday. Yes. EMO. What is EMO? Japan. Yes, Japan is very advanced in the terms of artificial intelligence. Matrix. Okay. Next slide, please. Uh, I'm here to continue. Our data science lead Aman is not well, so I am here on his behalf. Next slide. Do you know that 2.5 quintillion bytes of data is processed every day, and it is data scientists who make the sense of these all data and build some meaningful insight with it. That's what the code depicts by Harvard Business. Next slide. Now, in data science, we often analyze the data using a certain tool and draw some insight from it, which is very valuable for the business who run their decision on the basis of the data. Okay, those tools include the statistics, linear algebra, probability, machine learning, and any visualization tool such as Tableau or Power BI, which is from the Microsoft. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, in data analysis, we'd use these following steps. Okay, like first is framing the problem. We often decompose the problem to a simpler level so that we can understand how we need to collect the data. Okay, then second is collecting raw data needed for our problem. In this step, we often take the high quality and targeted data which is needed for our problem. Okay, then next step, we clean the data. Like cleaning means there may be some missing values or some kind of outliers in the data which may affect our analysis and end results. Okay, and then we perform in-depth analysis. Actually, all these tools which I was talking about is used in this step, in-depth analysis. Here we use mathematics and statistics and machine learning to draw certain conclusion out of those data. And then last very important thing is communication. Communicating that result with the stakeholders or someone who is not have so much who are not having some technical background. Okay, so communication is very important here in data science. You have to be very good storyteller if you want to become a data science. Okay, next. Now, what we will do, we will help you to explore this domain by certain workshops and hands-on, so that you can explore and apply these terms in your projects or uh, in your projects and your work, and connect with some peers of a similar kind of uh, like minds. Next slide. Now, here is the fun question again. What is the one skill you wanted to master in the college? You can write the answer in chat box. What is the one skill that you want to master in the college? Communication, time management, CP and DS. Yes. Yes. Is there any question? Someone raised their hand. Not being an introvert. Okay. Networking. Very good. Next slide. That's all from my side. Over to you, Akhilesh.
Hello guys, how are you doing? I'm Akhilesh Manda and I'm going to be your open source lead for the upcoming term here at GDSC IIIT-V. And like open source, my motto is collaboration first and code next. Can we go to the next slide? So the first question that rises in everyone's mind, what is open source? So let me just get it out of the way. Open source is not Git, open source is not GitHub. Open source is much, much greater than Git and GitHub, right? And these are just tools to contribute to open source. Now coming to the formal definition, open source software is software with source code that anyone can see, anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance. So, I mean, open source is probably a developer's way to giving back, right? And you probably have used or you are currently using an open source software, Mozilla Firefox. If you use that browser, it is an open source software, and VLC Media Player, that is one example of an open source software. And so these are like a variety of examples. And not only coming to products, right? It helps with developers as well. So like coming to app development, Flutter is open source, and many packages, whatever packages that you use is open source. And there's almost an open source aspect to every tech stack that is out there. And coming to open source in college, so it is very, very beneficial for you to start contributing to open source in college. Don't get me wrong here when I say it is not necessary for you to code every time you make an open source contribution, right? Coding is a big aspect. If you want to make a feature change or if you want to make something, then you obviously have to code it. But small details like documenting the code or correcting details in the code that you find, it could be changing the readme, updating the readme. These are all very, very important aspects of open source, and these are meaningful contributions to any repository out there, because not everyone has the time or not. It is much more better to collaborate on something and come up with something that the community needs. right? And coming to your career part, obviously all your projects that you're going to put on your resume, they're going to be on GitHub. And one thing, when a recruiter sees an open source project on your resume, it tells them that you know how to work collaboratively. Whenever you join a company, whenever you work in a team, it is very important for you to work collaboratively and write clean code and write code collaboratively. Right now alone you might be writing and everything might be going well, but you will notice that once you start using others code and once you start collaborating on a project, the difficulty goes to another level, right? And we here at IIIT, we have an open source organization. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, and I'm going to leave for you to explore that. Let's hope you find it. And in that organization, there are multiple repos that, they're beginner friendly. You can contribute to them and you can explore that. And coming to open source competitions, the infamous GSOC, Google Summer of Code. Well, this is not the only open source competition that exists out there. Open source is not a competition. Again, it's all about collaboration. So it defeats the purpose. But sometimes what happens is many companies out there, they open their repositories and invite developers to contribute to their repos. Mostly the process goes like you submit a request, a document requesting changes and telling them this is what I would like to do. And so this is what happens with GSOC. We'll probably talk about that a bit later. Some other open source competitions include Google Summer of Docs, Forsasia's Code Heat, and those are some. And here we at IIIT, we are planning to host one open source competition called Contributathon, and we will discuss on that later. And one more event, that is Hacktoberfest. You might be seeing many seniors roaming around with the shirts on. So we'll have one more discussion on Hacktoberfest as well. So this is broadly about open source, and I hope to have one more session with you sooner where we can go into nitty-gritty details of it. Now I would like to hand it off to Madhur.
Yeah, so before Shrishti starts, I want all the females from the 2021 batch to give me a plus plus in chat. Let's say females, right? अच्छा, let's do one thing. Okay, सिर्फ females, just press the raise hand button, right? वो दिख रहा होगा यार. I just want to know the number. That's it. Can you see the raise hand button? Yeah, so we have 9, 10, 14, 16. Yep, that's a good number. Okay. So किसी को पता है यार 2021 बैच में कितनी फीमेल्स हैं? जिनने भी हैंड रेज किया है कोई भी माइक ऑन करके बता दो.
34.
सॉरी, कितने? फिर से रिपीट करना कौन?
34.
34, right? And we have almost something like 18 here, right? So can you guys see a gap in participation here, right? So that is why this domain is important, and that is why we have introduced it this year. Shrishti, you can continue.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Madhur. So, hello everyone. I'm Srishti, and I'll be your woman in tech lead for this year. Next slide, please.
So, hello everyone. I'm Ayushi Shukla, and me with my teammate Hetvi will be serving as women in tech co-lead for the ongoing session. Can you please change the slide?
So many of you might be wondering that why do we need this particular domain, right? So statistically, if you look at the figures, only 26% of IT and ITS roles are held by the women. And out of them also, not even 1% are in leadership position or C-suite roles like CEOs and CTOs. And if you look at even broader domain, that is STEM, the number even gets lesser. So why are we facing this problem? The problem arises due to lack of opportunity and this domain being so male dominated. And it is often pre-assumed that women are not suitable or capable of building a career in STEM. You might have heard certain stigmas and stereotypes on the same. And at some point, you might have felt kind of left out of crowd. I have personally felt that way. So what could be the solution? Solution can be the empowerment through the events like mentorship programs, scholarship programs, internship and hiring drives just for the female candidates, and certain coding competitions. And there are certain organizations which are just dedicated to the women in tech, like Tech Makers Initiative by the Google. Now I will hand over to the Ayushi. Next slide, please.
So, in order to cope up with these problems, many tech gigs like Google, Amazon, Twitter have come ahead with scholarship and internships program in order to promote diversity hiring. Here we have enlisted few of them like Google Step Intern, Flipkart Runway, Amazon Wow, Twitter Developer, and there are also certain scholarships like Grace Hopper Scholarship. Now this is a very interesting initiative, and if any one of you guys get selected for this, she will be invited in Grace Hopper celebration, which is world's largest women in tech conference, and this happens every year in USA. So you will be traveling abroad. Also, there are some scholarship provided by Google, like Generation Scholarship, Women Tech Makers, and like these, this can be endless. Here, we have just enlisted few of them. So what we're gonna do throughout the session is that we're gonna make you aware of them, and we will update you for them to time so that you won't miss any of them. And also we will help you to go through the application process and resolve any query if you have. Over to you, Hetvi. Next slide, please.
So hello everyone, I am Hitri Soni, your Women in Tech co-lead. So what we would be doing throughout the session is, first of all, we would be conducting talks and sessions where we would be providing you information regarding such opportunities, and talks with past interns and scholars who were already part of such programs, especially for girls. So they would be guiding you more about it. And yes, many a times it might have happened with you that you see someone posting on LinkedIn that I have received some internship opportunities, or I have become part of some so and so fellowship or scholarship program, and you are not even aware of that. So yes, we tend to miss opportunities. So for that, we have created a repository where we would be adding links and tentative dates. And yes, you are already in your second year, and believe me, you are going to have many opportunities throughout your second year. So start building up your resume. And yes, if you have any questions or doubt, you can ping us on our Discord channel, and we will be always be there to help you guys.
So, hello everyone, I'm Garima Mangal. I'll be cybersecurity lead for this semester. So, if it's smart, it's vulnerable. It's quite said correctly. Anything that is available or is up on internet is hackable. I guess you all agree to that. So, next slide, please. So, what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity might sound a bit intriguing to you. So, I'll use a bit common term, hacking. You all might be aware of what hacking is. You can see the two pictures here. So the one picture of a hooded man sitting there in dark is what hacking to me. Yeah, when I first heard of the term hacking, this was what it was. And the other picture that you can see on the top is of a computer screen. That is what a computer screen of hacker looks like, isn't it? Uh, that is what it is. But actually, cybersecurity is a very, very important field. Cybersecurity is the protection of internet connected systems, such as hardware, software, and data from cyber threats. If cybersecurity role is not played correctly, then any of the development that is happening across you is of no use. Then you're not safe on internet. It's that. Next slide, please. So there are many cybersecurity domains. Some of them I have listed here. These are application security, information security, network security, disaster recovery, operational security, storage security, and mobile security. Many more can be listed here. आजकल many companies hire cybersecurity in researchers, especially to just to maintain their systems, and they perform bug bounty programs as well. We'll look through this through the session and coming. Okay, next slide.
So, hello everyone, I'm Mugdha Sharma, your current technical writing lead. So, as said, it's a craft of continuous process of carefully gathering, organizing, and assessing. Next slide. So, in the field of engineering, you cannot just get away by saying that, oh, I don't want to write that because that's already understandable. So, no, that's not how things work. Nothing is obvious or stored in mind. Everything needs to be properly documented. Okay. So more formally, technical writing is a way of technical communication used in technical and occupational fields. It includes everything from your resume, your CV, language documentation, technical blogs, or even the proper GitHub README, which Akhilesh said before. So these are also a part of technical writing. So it might seem a trivial exercise to do, but trust me, that's the heart of your work. If you cannot explain it, everyone's gonna ignore that, right? For example, quantifying your result in your resume and many more such things. You can know more about that later in our resume writing workshop. So yeah, let's move to our fun section. So yeah, how many of you have already made your resume?
Guys, we have a poll, so do vote in that.
Okay, you can use the poll if you're raising hand for that. Okay, so I see most of the people have said no, and that's completely okay. Like you've just moved to your second year, but yeah, we'll get that part to that later. You can next slide. Yeah, let's meet our support team.
All right. So, hello everyone. My name is Janmay Joshi, and I'm the management co-lead for this term. And I've always loved what GDSC has stood for. So, I'll make sure okay, everything is going smoothly. And over to you.
So, hello everyone, I'm Aditya Kakad and I'm the management co-lead for GDSC IIIT Vadodara this year. And I'll be looking into all of the work that will be happening in the back end of the GDSC and ensuring that everything is going smoothly.
Yeah, so hey everyone, I'm Suyajan and I'm the current video lead under GDSC. I've also been the video co-lead previous year. So in case of any thing you are interested in video making or in creating designs also, you can contact me directly. And also we will be conducting a session soon for it. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Jashwin Gautam here, and I'll be your video co-lead for this term of GDSC. Even though for a video editor I may have the worst headset, but I assure you, you will have fun. That aside, hope to collaborate and communicate with you all in the near future. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so information that you all, I am sure, are excited about. So, recruitment. Okay. So, from the 2021 batch, we'll be taking in volunteers, right? So, the domain leads and co-leads will keep an eye out on you guys. So, the thing is, like, you need to remain just, can you mute your mic? Someone here. Yeah, thanks. So, the basic thing is you guys need to remain active in the community, and that way we'll be able to find you guys. And the second thing is you need to work on your domain specific skills. So learn and build some amazing projects. So recruitment for technical domains will start in the first week of October this year, right? So you guys have ample amount of time to learn, build projects and stuff. And for non-technical domains, we'll roll out forms before tomorrow, end of day. So these domains, the non-technical ones would be like management, PR, and a few others which you will see in the form. Alright.